Okay, for this next part, they're going to be giving presentations, and I'm going to have everybody writing notes as they give the presentations, and you will write those notes too. You'll take pictures of those and you'll upload them to show me that you did the participation. And then this guy. Over 10. Okay, so here's the order of your presentation. Number one, you're going to read the poem out loud to us. Number two, everyone will have turned to that poem. Give us 30 seconds to just look at it, because sometimes these take a second to digest, right? Probably we would need more like 5 minutes, but that's okay. So 30 seconds for us to like individually look at it. Then you are going to tell us, what are these 3 things that make this poem the best one, the best sonnet out of all of them? And you're going to try and tell us how those 3 things, and I'm hoping you already were kind of working through this, why those aspects are what build up the theme, because that's part of what makes it a good poem, right? So it doesn't mean that you have to have the theme written out perfectly as one sentence, but you're kind of not just saying, oh, it's clever that he uses alliteration, but like why that's clever. Does that make sense? Okay, and then at the end, all of us are going to be very good listeners, and we are going to offer our own readings of the poem. So you're going to take comments, and all of us are going to say, oh, this is why that poem is really good. And probably that's something you've already thought of, and so you can kind of point to it and add to it on your board. So a little bit of a discussion time at the end of your presentation. All right, does that make sense? Ultimately, your goal is proving to us why this is the best one. So you're being a champion for your poem. All right, we're just going to go in order. So let's start with number 55. You just hold it up, probably. Sorry. What? You could use the clips if you wanted to. I'm not tall enough to use them. You probably have to like bend up the top part. Maybe. Beautiful. It was good where it is. Okay.
So our goal was Sonnet 55.
So everyone's going to Sonnet 55, and we're going to make notes on our own sonnets, right? Okay. Well, you guys don't for Sonnet 55. You already have. Yeah.
Okay, so we read it out loud.
Yes.
Okay. So not marble nor the gilded monument, a princess shall outline this powerful rhyme, but you shall shine more bright in this conference than unswept stones besmeared with sluggish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars his sword, nor words with fire shall burn, the living record of your memory. Against death and all oblivious enemies, shall you praise forth. Your praise shall still find room, even in the eyes of all posterity. That weareth this world out to the ending doom. So till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this and dwell in lovers' eyes.
Okay, now you have 30 seconds to kind of look through it yourself, see what you notice about it. Okay, go ahead, tell us about it.
Okay, so the first thing we talked about was the theme. So the whole theme of the poem, at least we thought, was like when you put a person or like a thing into poetry, it kind of lives forever more than like monuments. So that's a way you can, I guess, mentally fight against existentialism and nothing in your life matters because everything goes to dust and everything is besmeared with sludge time.
The next thing that we really thought was that contributed was the sibilants. There's a lot of sibilants. The biggest one is showcased in these 3 lines where it says, shall shine, unswept, stone, smeared, sluggish, wasteful, shall, statues. So that makes us savor the sonnet. It makes us like feel like we have to like enjoy this poem. It makes us like really tricks our brain into thinking like we like this. We gotta remember this.
Okay, this one's gonna sound really weird, but the reason people like poetry is because when you use like alliteration and rhymes and stuff, you're tricking your brain into thinking that it just heard the same thing twice. Because your conscious brain likes new things and your unconscious brain likes old, like familiar things. So when you have N rhymes like all over the place and then like a bunch of alliteration and sibilants and junk, it's like you're hearing the same thing a lot, but it's also new things. So your brain likes it in both ways. So it fits into your head better. It's easier to understand.
Good one. Okay, comments. What do you notice about this poem that works really well, that you like? I'll tell one. I like sluttish time as a phrase. That definitely stands out to me. I think it's a great one because it's talking about like things like that are physical wasting away, you know, like monuments and statues and so on. It says, and broils root out the work of masonry. So it's sort of like things are crumbling and whatever. And so calling it like sluttish time is the thing that does this. It's like time, it's kind of gross. Time touches everything, you know, and it's not like, it doesn't do it with like a purpose or it doesn't do it with like intention. It's just sort of like everything is up for grabs for time. And I really like that phrase. Yeah.
Isaac. So I wouldn't mind kind of this one, but I like how it's like descriptive word and then the object, like sluttish time, wasteful war. It's like royals, like all of the, it like provides a descriptive word so your mind like has a picture of it before it goes.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, he always does that. They always frame it that way with that little indent. Mhm. Did you guys think about Mars in the poem and what it might mean?
A little bit with like the monuments and stuff, but I couldn't really find
What do we think that means there? Nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn.
I actually kind of disagree with that because like when Genghis Khan like conquered cities, he'd burn all their library and stuff. So
Right, but he's kind of saying like it's like this idea that's going to like the poem is like an idea that's going to live on. I get like it's not maybe factual, but
like memorizing Shakespeare's sonnets with stuff.
Yeah, Mars is like.
all right, let's take one more.
I like the phrase ending theme, because it's really like dramatic, but it also sums up the rest of the poem.
Yeah, I like ending doom too. Like it's saying that the world may end, but this living record of your memory will live on. He's very confident as a poem. That's what I like about this poem. It's just like so egotistical. Like no other art form will live on except for my poetry. And you guys were saying like, you're welcome to the girl that he's writing about. Yeah. Or boy. Shakespeare, half of his poems were about a girl and half were about a boy. So we don't know which one this one is, I don't think. Or Gilded Monuments of Princes. I bet they say this one's about the boy. Anyway, okay, good job. Put it in the back for me. All right, 87. Let's get Sonnet 87 up there. So everyone turn to 87.
Farewell, thou art too clear for my possessing, and like enough thou know'st thy estimate. The charter of thy worth gives thy releasing. My bonds in thee are all determinate. For how do I hold thee but by thy granting? And for that riches where is my deserving? The cause of this fair gift in me is wanting, and so my patent back again is swerving. Thyself thou goust, thy gaste.
Gave est.
Oh, that's me, okay. Thy own worth, then not knowing, or me to whom thou gavest it, else mistaking. So thy great gift upon this prison growing comes again on better judgment making. Thus I have thee as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking not such matter.
Okay, give us a second to read this. Okay. All right, tell us about this poem.
Okay, so the like general summary that we have is that this is letting go of a person, but then it has like a guilt trip kind of feeling switch halfway through. And the first half is like being kind of like a suck up. And then the second half is like guilt trip.
And then one of the things we really liked was all the themes, and how that was how we chose to rhyme, because every single theme, like, well, they're all feminine rhymes, but it makes the whole poem really fun to read, and then there's just like two instances that rhyme and then flatter and ladder where it doesn't have the themes and it makes those stand out. It's just really different of each section.
And then it had only end stop lines and no enjambment, which made it easier to read. You don't have to pause in between like lines and
Why do you think the end stop like fits with the theme of it?
I think it's because it's all very like matter of fact, like the beginning, it's talking about how the person is too good for them and they are don't they deserve way better than the person they're breaking up with. And then as it goes on, it's like, wait, but I'm awesome too, and you're gonna miss me, and I should have you. It's really like me, and it's more strict on that, and it's like the ending of each line goes into the ending of each feeling.
Okay. All right, comments on this one.
I really like the line that says they self-deprecating thy own word. I feel like that's your point where you talk about kind of that switch in tone. So it switches to like a really chauvinistic tone, which I think is really aggressive approach to it. Because I think it's like a fun, like really strong switch to make it feel like more targeted towards young lovers and not older lovers. Oh, adventure, like possession and like owning things, wanting things, like I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that he sees, I mean, he seems to see her as an object, or like the object of the poem is an object to him that he can like have, but that she can like take away from him. But either way, it's an object. Yeah. I like the line, so thy great gift upon misprision growing. So I had to look it up, but misprision is about like treason and felony. So it kind of feels to me that it's like your, like the thing that made you great, because you betrayed me, it's like getting even greater in my eyes. Is that the correct reading of it? That's what it seems to be to me. So it's sort of like, you know, when someone breaks up with you, maybe you weren't that cool about them before. You were just sort of like, maybe you were even planning to break up with them, but as soon as they are, you know, the ones that got away, suddenly their gift in your eyes is like, oh, they're amazing. I can't believe I missed out on this thing, you know? Yeah. Any other comments about this one? I know a lot of these poems are, yeah. All right, good. Let's do at least one more. So 105.
Let not my love be called idolatry, nor my beloved as an idle show, since all the life my songs and praises be, to one of one, still such and ever so. Kind is my love today, tomorrow kind, still constant in a wondrous excellence, therefore my verse to constancy confined. One thing expressing leaves out difference, fair, kind, and true is all my argument, fair, kind, and true, varying to other words, and in this change is my invention spent. Three themes in one, which wondrous scope affords. Fair, kind, and true have often lived alone, which three till now never kept seat in one.
Okay, give us a second to read through. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about this one.
Okay, so our poem is basically just like a love poem. It's just about love, and it's kind of like two parts. So the top is like it's kind of like defensive. It's almost like the tone is kind of like he's being attacked or she. I don't know. But he's saying like, don't let my love be called idle fairy or idolatry. Just saying like, I don't love this person. I'm not like worshiping them like an idol. And then the second half is kind of like the reasons why they love this person. And so I thought that was like good because it's not just like a basic generic love poem. It's like
So it talks about how like they've loved this person for a long time, saying still constant in a wondrous excellence, therefore my verse to constancy confined. So it's like they love each other forever, and it's like a constant thing that they have going on.
And then last thing is the very last two lines. It's kind of explaining how fair, kind, and true are like attributes that like usually like everyone has like one of them. And then it was saying this person has all three, and that's why like they love this person.
Okay. All right, comments on this one. What makes it good?
I really like the first lines about idolatry and idol because it's like, to me, it brings like, he's saying, I'm not fake, this is true love, because idols are like, at least in more religion, idols are fake gods and stuff. So it's like, don't worship fake gods. It's like, I'm not being fake. I love this person.
You're not just saying.
It's like who she is, and that's like why they work so well.
Oh, go ahead. I think you guys are right that this is like the first part is him sort of responding to an attack or something, and they're attacking him for being obsessive. But how do they know that he's obsessive? Like it says, since all alike my songs and praises be to one, of one still such and ever so. So what are they criticizing him of in that section?
They could be like talking about how if he could like cheat or something, and he's talking about somebody else. So he's like, it's to one, it's of one forever.
Yeah, I think the focus too though is on my songs and praises. So like almost all of Shakespeare's sonnets are about him. Not necessarily about the lover, you know. They're all love poems, but they're all like about like how amazing he is as a person who loves, you know, like theirs was about like I write the best poetry, or here like I'm the one who is building up your love or your greatness in my own mind, you know. It's always like about him. So if you look at this, they are criticizing him for writing boring poetry. It's like you're happy now and you've got this wondrous love who's not an idol. Like you're not, they think that he's like obsessed with her because he's always writing poems about her, you know? So it's like, let not my love be called idolatry because all of my songs are about one person. And he says, so he's like, yeah, it's constant because my love is constant, you know? Fair, kind, and true is all my argument. But that's because fair, kind, and true can be said in many different other words, because this person has such wondrous scope of fairness and kindness and trueness that I can keep writing this same poem over and over again with these same themes, right? Yeah. So he's like defending his own sort of boring, you know how people who are happy are just like more boring than people who aren't, you know? It's, it's that kind of idea. It's like, I'm happy right now. Don't accuse me of having boring poetry just because I'm happy, because she's amazing. She's full of wondrous excellence, you know? So I think that part of it is that it's this amazing love poem, but part of it is him saying, I'm an amazing poet because I can keep writing about this person over and over again. Yeah. Okay, good. I just clapped for, it seemed like I clapped for my own comment, but I'm clapping for your presentation too. All right, so last two groups. We've got lust and death coming up next time. we will